Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today I'm answering a Dear Ruth Theresa question. So the question is, when people have extremely difficult lives, why? Why do they have extremely difficult lives? Is it coming in from karma? Is it did they plan it before they got here? Is God punishing them in some way? Or is it that they're just really unlucky? So let's kind of break it down into each aspect of it. And some of them could be true in some different aspects. So kind of like let's explain it this way is when people have really difficult lives, a lot of times what it is there are things that they couldn't let go of, things that happened to them as a child, and they're holding on to that anger or grief or other emotions that they're hanging on to. And it's one of those, for whatever reason, because they're unable to let it go, it brings a lot of stuff in. So it's kind of like living your life looking through your rearview mirror at what's happened in the past. So anything that comes up, it's like, how can I relate it to that? Anything that comes up now, again, relate it to that. And that can be kind of really extremely unlucky and overwhelming. The problem is it's their own bad luck. They're measuring up everything to that. So I know many people that have had like very traumatic, abuse filled childhoods, and I get that that was horrible. Yet at the same time, we're not meant to hang on to all of that. That anger, that frustration, that um, kind of karma that that person unleashed on us, we're not meant to hang on to it. We're meant to let that go and move on. And for whatever reason, I've known people, in different stages of their life, from young adult all the way through in their 80s and 90s, and still hanging on to anger about something that happened to them as a child. It's one of those, I can understand it, but I can also tell you, let it go. It's one of those, it is going to bring in more bad luck because you're judging everything against what happened to you. And like I said, you're kind of trying to move forward in life, but looking through your mirror, rearview mirror at the same time. So that can be really, really harsh and very strong. Um, Kind of asking, is it karma? Sometimes it can be karma that they plan to work through in this life. So kind of putting both of those together is kind of like, yes, it's going to be karma that they're trying to work through from a past life. But they also usually planned it this way. They planned on a lot of things to come up to kind of before they came here. I often explain people kind of like, kind of in heaven, we'll kind of get into family pods and kind of like, who are we going to be and what are we going to do? And it's kind of like putting like a little girl's playing house and a football huddle all together. So the little girl playing house is kind of like, you're going to be the mom and you're going to be the dad and you're going to be the brother and you're going to be the sister and you're going to be the aunt and uncle and all that kind of stuff. That's great. Then let's add kind of the football huddle. You and I are going to have an issue with this, or you and I are going to have a problem with that, and you and I are going to have to work through this and work through that. So we plan it ahead of time, and then we come to earth. And like I said, then sometimes things happen to us and we aren't able to let go of them. Or someone else will be like, okay, we're going to be married. And instead of getting married, we marry someone else. And so that's kind of like, we made commitments, but we can also change them. But then it's like the other person's kind of like, we were supposed to be together. We were supposed to make this together, and that person isn't there. So that can add like a different layer of energy to it. It can bring in a lot of old stuff for us to work through and to deal with. One of the things that's really interesting with that is, I will tell you that more often than not, that I feel people that have extremely difficult lives are people, when they use their words, it's the best way to put it, is like, people hang on to things with their words more than anything else. I've had people sit across from me in my office, and I want to find a new love, I want to find a new boyfriend or girlfriend, I want to get married and have kids, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then usually a little bit later on, they'll be like, but there are no good men in the world, or there are no women that are trustworthy, or there's none of this. So it's kind of like with your words, creator energy is like, oh, this is what you want, let me bring it to you. And then they go, but there's none of that in the world. And so it's like, blah, 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 blah. It disappears. And so that's the harsh part of it. Our words are the most unluckiest thing that we use, and we do it to ourselves. I have talked to many people over the years, and one of them was like, oh, it's really hard to hang on to money. Just even saying that means that your money's hard to hang on to, or I have to work hard for my money. Really? it's one of those, changing the energy of that can bring in money more easily to you. Bringing in great friends. Like, I love when my friends are around me. It's one of those, I love when I have great relationships with the other people. Upgrading your words now can help you in the future. So this is something that's really important that people don't always deal with or work through really well in this life. I will tell you, words are the harshest thing that we do, and we do it to ourselves. It really do. Dreams is the first card I pull with this. Dreams is something that kind of like we can. I'm not just talking about like when we're asleep, but kind of like our dream life. What do you choose to create for you? What are you wanting to choose to create for yourself? What is the life? And then what's keeping it from you? What are the barriers or the obstacles? And not just looking at everybody else around you. What in you? What in you is causing that barrier, that obstacle to come in? So just kind of keep that in mind for yourself. This is the next one popping up. So, balance. There is a balance of kind of keeping the life lessons that we've learned as a child, as a young adult, keeping those, but getting rid of how we learn the lesson. And all of us know people that like, let me tell this story one more time. Let me tell this, how this happened or how this hurt me or whatever else. And they're saying it over and over and over again. And when they do, they're allowing it to re-hurt themselves or re-hurting themselves, kind of re-injuring themselves every time they say it. The balance of it is to keep the lesson from it and let everything else go. Just keep the lesson. Don't let everything else cloud that over. The next one is, the best part of this question is, when we have a difficult life, the power is within us. What are we choosing to change? What are we choosing to upgrade? If it's your words that are wrong, you can change and upgrade your words in a heartbeat. It's one of those, you can say, I'm not going to use that word again. I'm going to put some power words in there, and I'm going to bring in abundance and life and laughter and friends and all kinds of things. So we have the power to choose that now, and it's an easy upgrade. The power lies within us. It always has. So if you're having a difficult life, this is something that you can choose to upgrade and change immediately, and within a few days or a few hours or a few weeks, you can flip your whole world around and bring in amazing power for yourself, amazing energy for yourself and the people around you. So that's something that you can upgrade any moment. So I thank you for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.